Hello again and happy Saturday from Metro Manila, the Philippines, Southeastern Asia. I tried to complete the series of videos on the Freedom House's 2019 reports of the six official countries of the Advanced Placement, Government and Politics course. Nigeria is a large country in Western and Central Africa. The country has been a dictatorship on two occasions, the second one of which lasted from 1983 to 1999. And at least during the second occasion, Nigeria was a military dictatorship, in other words, ruled by a group of soldiers. In 1999, at last, democracy was restored, and Nigeria became a federal and democratic presidential republic. The president is the chief executive of Nigeria, so he serves as the head of state and as the head of government. Simultaneously with the president is elected the vice president. They are elected every 4 years. The president can serve a maximum of 2 terms. And then the cabinet ministers are appointed by the president, obviously. The legislature at the federal level includes the House of Representatives of 360 members and the Senate of 109 members. They are both elected directly, and in the federal parliamentary elections, the first past the post system is used. In other words, the country is divided in elections to the House of Representatives into 360 electoral districts, and in the elections to the Senate to 109 electoral districts, and whoever wins the largest number of votes in the single round of voting is elected to the federal parliament from each district. The All Progressives Congress, which is a left-wing party, is the current ruling party. The main opposition party is the People's Democratic Party, which is a center-right party. There are several other parties in the Nigerian federal parliament, and many parties also exist informally outside the parliament. Nigeria has been moving towards a full democracy since the restoration of formal democracy in 1999. There are still concerns. For example, the party system is not so stable, and there have been several reports of not so free and fair elections. However, the latest federal presidential and parliamentary elections in 2019 reportedly were reasonably free and fair. Also, there is sadly quite much corruption in the government and in the civil service. Nigeria is divided as far as religion is concerned almost equally between the Christians and the Muslims, and sadly there are clashes between especially certain fundamentalist groups of Christians and Muslims. There are still units of the Islamic extremist and terrorist organization Boko Haram around Nigeria, and in the recent years they have engaged in the kidnapping of, for example, students, although fortunately groups of Nigerian soldiers and police officers have also freed many of those students. And Boko Haram, because of its extremist Islamic terrorist ideology, has links to the notorious Islamic State, Islamic terrorist organization. There are reports of police brutality, and actually during this passing year, 2020, there have been protests against police brutality. And in those protests, there have been, for example, a number of Nigerian students. Formally, the Nigerian courts are free and independent, free from and independent of the executive power. In practice, it is not such a clear-cut separation because of the issues of ongoing corruption, and then certain cases of executive interference in some judicial decisions. There is also some corruption, and especially and sadly, tragically, there is also a culture of sexism at certain Nigerian colleges and universities. I have watched at least once, maybe twice, a tragic report of how a now former professor at, I think, the Lagos University, who tragically was even a pastor of some Protestant church, made suggestive remarks to a young woman who had come there to investigate how he behaves, and tried to make the young woman hug and or kiss him, but contradictorily he also tried to lead the young woman to a so-called sinner's prayer. And there at least has been a so-called cold room where those young female students of the university who have wanted to get higher grades have had to make themselves available for various sex acts. But getting back to the process of government and politics. While Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa, its population is currently over 208 million people. Nigeria has been home to several indigenous pre-colonial states and kingdoms since the second millennium BC. The Nok civilization was the first one, or the civilization during whose time Nigeria was a united country for the first time. In the 19th century, Britain colonized Nigeria. The country obtained independence as a federation in October 1960. It experienced a civil war from 1967 to 1970 when the state of Biafra tried to separate from it. There were a succession of democratically elected civilian governments and military dictatorships before 1999, or until 1999, when democracy was restored. Nigeria is today a multinational state. There are over 250 ethnic groups who speak 500 distinct languages, and they have a wide variety of cultures. The three largest ethnic groups are the Hausa Fulani in the north, Yoruba in the west, and Igbo in the east. And into these ethnic groups belong over 60% of Nigeria's population. Because many of the indigenous languages are not easily understandable or mutually understandable by their speakers, English is the official language. Nigeria's Muslims live mostly in the north, and Nigeria's Christians live mostly in the south. Nigeria has the world's fifth largest Muslim population and the world's sixth largest Christian population. The current Nigerian president, who serves as the head of state and as the head of government, is Mr. Muhammadu Buhari, who was re-elected in the Nigeria federal elections held in February 2019. The vice president is Mr. Yemi Osinbajo, or Osinbajo. The House Speaker is Femi Gbaja Biamila, while the Senate President or Speaker is Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan. Nigeria has been identified as a regional power on the African continent, a middle power in international affairs, and has also been identified as an emerging global power. However, many Nigerians are poor and its Human Development Index ranks, according to the English language Wikipedia article on it, the country 158th in the world. The country is also classified as a lower middle income economy, with a gross national income per capita between $1,026 and $3,986. Nominally, however, on a per capita basis, the figure rises to $5,066. Nigeria is a founding member of the African Union and a member of many other international organizations such as the United Nations, the Commonwealth of Nations, the Economic Community of West African States, and Organization for Petroleum Exporting Countries. Nigeria is also a member of the informal Mint group of countries, Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria, and Turkey, which are widely seen as the globe's next emerging economies, as well as the next 11 economies which are set to become among the biggest in the world. High political instability has often resulted in the postponement of elections. The country's minor parties include, for example, the center-left Labour Party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, which is a progressive party, the Social Democratic Party, which is a center-left and moderate party, the Accord Party, which is a capitalist and populist party, and the Young Progressive Party, which is a social democratic party. Nigeria is divided into 36 federal states and the Federal Capital Territory of Abuja. The state executives include the governor, the deputy governor, and the other members of the State Executive Council. Each federal state has its own legislature as well. Nigeria has proven that it can sustain democracy and the people are ready to do what it takes to make this happen. The Economist Intelligence Unit rated Nigeria as a hybrid regime, including both democratic and authoritarian elements. The federal cabinet or government of Nigeria has currently 24 federal ministries. The heads of the executive ministries are nominated by the Nigerian president and then presented to the Senate, and the Senate has 21 days to complete the screening for confirmation or rejection by a simple majority. According to Section 147 and Clause 5 of the Nigerian Federal Constitution, the only qualification for one to be appointed as minister is that the person must be qualified for election into the House of Representatives. However, according to the separation of powers system, if they are members of either the House of Representatives or of the Senate or some state or other legislature, they must, of course, resign their memberships in those bodies and then become federal cabinet ministers. Likewise, if they belong to any court, they must resign their judgeships there. In the current cabinet, in addition to President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, are the following ministers: Minister of Justice Abubakar Matami, Minister of Foreign Affairs Jeffrey Onyema, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed, Minister of Defense Bashir Salihi Magashi, Then Minister of Education Adamu Adamu, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Richard Adeniyi Adebayo, Minister of Labor and Employment Chris Ngige, Minister of Federal Capital Territory Mohamed Musa Bello, Minister of Science and Technology Ogbonnaya Onu, Minister of Mines and Steel Development Olamilekan Adegbite, Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola, Minister of State for Budget and National Planning Clement Agba, Minister of Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Sabo Nanono, Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amaechi, Minister of Power Saleh Maman, Minister of Health Osagie Ehanire, Minister of Women Affairs Pauline Talen, Minister of Niger Delta Godswill Akpabio, Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed, Minister of Environment Muhammad Mahmoud, Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu, Minister of Youth and Sports Sunday Dare, Minister for Aviation Sirika Hadi, Minister of State for Environment Sharon Ikiazor, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Zubair Dada, Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development Ikechukwu Oga, Minister of State for Health Adeleke Mamora, Minister of State for Labor and Employment Festus Keyamo, Minister of State for Power Godi Jedi Agba, Minister of State for Works and Housing Abubakar D. Aliyu, Minister of State for Education Chukwe Meka Nwajiuba, Minister of State for Agriculture and Rural Development Mustafa Baba Shehuri, Minister of State for Niger Delta Tayo Alasadura, Minister of Police Affairs Maigari Dingyadi, Minister for Communication Isa Ali Pantami, Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment Mariam Katagum, Minister of State for Petroleum Timipra Silva, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development Sadia Umar Farouk, Minister of State for Transportation Gbe Misola Saraki, Minister of Special Duties and International Affairs George Akume, Minister of State for Federal Capital Territory Ramatu Tijani or Tijani, Minister of State for Science and Technology Mohammed Abdullahi. Yes. And then let's look at the states of Nigeria. We can start with the Federal Capital Territory of Abuja. Let's see. Who is the leader? Well, the city of Abuja is run by the Abuja Municipal Area Council. In 2013, the People's Democratic Party won the municipal elections. And since 2015, Mohamed Bello has been the minister for the Federal Capital Territory. Then the states. Abia is located in southeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Okezie Ikpeazu of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Adamawa is in northeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Umaru Fintiri of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Akwa Ibom is located in southern Nigeria. Its governor is Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Anambra is located in southeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Willie Obiano of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. The state of Bauchi is located in northeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Bala Mohammed of the People's Democratic Party. Then the state of Bayelsa is located in southern Nigeria in the Core Niger Delta region. Its governor is Duye Diri of the People's Democratic Party. The state of its governor is Samuel Ortom of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Borno is located in northeastern Nigeria, and its governor is Babagana Umara Zulum of the All Progressives Congress. Then the state of Cross River is located in southern Nigeria. Its governor is Benedict Ayade of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Delta is located in southern Nigeria. And its governor is Arthur Okowa Ifeanyi of the People's Democratic Party. Is located in southeastern Nigeria. Its governor is David Nweze Umahi of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Edo or Edo and its governor is Godwin Obaseki of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Ekiti is located in southwestern Nigeria. Its governor is John Olukayode Fayemi of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Enugu is located in southeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Ifeanyi Ugwanyi of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Gombe is located in northeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Muhammad Inuwa Yahaya of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Imo is located in southeastern Nigeria. And its governor is Hope Uzodinma of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Jigawa is located in northeastern Nigeria, and its governor is Badaru Abubakar of the All Progressives Congress. In northwestern Nigeria, and its governor is Malam Nasir Ahmad El Rufai of the All Progressives Congress. Northern Nigeria. And its governor is Abdullahi Umar Ganduje or Ganduje. Of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Katsina is located in northwestern Nigeria. Its governor is Aminu Bello Masari of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Kebbi is located in northwestern Nigeria. Its governor is Abubakar Atiku Bagudu of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Kogi is located in central Nigeria and central or southern central Nigeria, and its governor is Yahaya Bello of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Kwara is in western Nigeria. And its governor is Abdul Razak Abdul Rahman of the All Progressives Congress. Then the state of Lagos is located in southwestern Nigeria. Its governor is Babajide Sanwo-Olu of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Nasarawa is located in north central Nigeria. Its governor is Abdullahi Sule of the All Progressives Congress. Then the state of Niger, not to be confused with the Republic of Niger, is located in Nigeria's Middle Belt region, but actually in western Nigeria as well. and its governor is Abubakar Sani Bello of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Ogun is located in southwestern Nigeria, and its governor is Dapo Abiodun of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Ondo is located in southwestern Nigeria. Its governor is Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Osun is located, or Osun is located in southwestern Nigeria. Its governor is Adegboyega Oyetola of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Oyo is located in southwestern Nigeria, and its governor is Oluwaseyi Makinde of the People's Democratic Party. Then the state of Plateau is located in central to northeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Simon Bakola Long of the All Progressives Congress. The state of Rivers is located in southern to southeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Nyesom Wike of the People's Democratic Party. Is located in the extreme northwest of Nigeria. Its governor is Aminu Waziri Tambuwal of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Taraba. The state of Taraba is in northeastern Nigeria. Its governor is Darius Dixon Ishaku of the People's Democratic Party. The state of Yobe is in northeastern Nigeria. And its governor is Maimala Buni of the All Progressives Congress. Is in northwestern Nigeria. And its governor is Bello Mohammed Motawale of the People's Democratic Party. So according to the Freedom House's report, let's see. Wasn't the correct one. Yeah, for 2019, the data as of 2019, Nigeria is considered classified as a partly free country, gaining 47 points out of 100. Political rights 22 points out of 40, and civil liberties 25 points out of 60. In 2018, Nigeria had obtained a score of 50 out of 100. So while Nigeria has made significant improvements to the quality of its elections, since its transition back into democratic rule in 1999. The 2019 presidential and National Assembly elections, meaning federal parliamentary elections, which saw President Muhammadu Buhari re-elected and the All Progressives Caucus or Congress regain its legislative majority, were, however, troubled by consistent irregularities. Security challenges, including the ongoing insurgency by the Boko Haram militant group, kidnappings, and communal and sectarian violence in the restive Middle Belt region, threaten the human rights of millions of Nigerians. The response by the military and law enforcement agencies to the widespread insecurity often involves extrajudicial killings, torture, and other abuses. Civil liberties are also undermined by religious and ethnic bias, and discrimination against women and sexual minorities remains pervasive. The vibrant media landscape is impeded by criminal defamation laws, as well as the frequent harassment and arrests of journalists who cover politically sensitive topics. So, while President Buhari was indeed re-elected with over 50% of the vote, the contest was marred by violence, the intimidation of electoral officials, and a one-week delay in the poll that weakened voter confidence. Turnout in the presidential election stood at 35.7%. In other words, almost two-thirds of the eligible Nigerian voters did not vote. And that was the lowest ever recorded in a Nigerian electoral contest. Despite, or perhaps even partly because of the low turnout, the All Progressives Congress secured a majority in both houses of the National Assembly, in other words, of the federal parliament. Boko Haram, the Islamist militant group, intensified its activities in northeastern Nigeria throughout 2019, leading to at least 1,000 civilian deaths by December of that year. The Islamic Movement of Nigeria, a Shiite Muslim group calling for a religious government in Nigeria, was classified as a terrorist organization and banned after followers clashed with security forces in the capital city of Abuja in July 2019. Efforts to reform the vital oil sector remained in limbo throughout 2019 after President Buhari's veto of legislation in 2018. The reform bill, which was first introduced in the Nigerian National Assembly in 2001, still remained under consideration by legislators as the year for the vote. So in addition to obtaining a majority of the federal vote, the president must win at least 25% of the votes cast in 24 states. So President Buhari did manage to win re-election, winning 53% of the vote. Yeah, he belongs to the left-wing All Progressives Congress, while his challenger, Mr. Atiku Abubakar of the center-right People's Democratic Party, got 39%. The other presidential candidates shared the remaining 8% of the vote. International election observers noted serious irregularities when the election was held, including election-related violence, vote buying, and the intimidation of election officials and voters. Abubakar legally challenged the election results in March. The Supreme Court dismissed his appeal in October and recognized President Buhari's re-election. Nigerian voters returned to the polls in early March 2019 to elect governors and assemblies in 29 states. Also, these local and regional elections were marred by pervasive intimidation efforts. A supplementary election was held to resolve 5 gubernatorial and 40 local legislative races later in March 2019 as a result. The European Union's Election Observation Mission reported that INEC officials were often targeted in the federal and state elections, with the observers noting incidents of sexual assault, abduction, and murder. In the 2019 federal parliamentary elections, the All Progressives Congress won a majority in both houses of parliament, 217 seats out of 360 in the House of Representatives, with the People's Democratic Party winning 115. In the Senate, the All Progressives Congress won 65 seats out of 109, while the People's Democratic Party won 39 seats. Also, these elections were troubled by irregularities, including violence, intimidation of voters and officials, vote buying, and other forms of interference and coercion. While the European Union's observers reported that the 2019 Nigerian elections were administered in general accordance with existing procedures, they also warned that the last-minute delay to presidential and congressional races in February affected voter turnout, confused voters, and undermined their confidence in the electoral process. Nigerians generally have the right to organize in different political parties. There were 91 registered political parties and 73 candidates for president in 2019 at the time of the federal elections. The largest number of parties and candidates since Nigeria returned again to democracy in 1999. Nigeria's multi-party system provides an opportunity for opposition parties to gain power through elections, as demonstrated by President Buhari's victory over his predecessor Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. Buhari's election that year marked the first time in Nigerian history that a sitting president was peacefully replaced. New political parties have successfully entered the National Assembly in recent years. The new Young Progressives Party won its first Senate seat in 2019. The All Progressives Grand Alliance won 9 seats in the lower house in 2019. However, the ruling All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party still are the two dominant parties. Citizens' political choices remain impaired or undermined by vote buying and intimidation, the influence of powerful domestic and international economic interests, and the local domination of either the Nigerian military or illegal armed groups in certain regions of Nigeria. Military personnel and armed gangs have also been known to interfere in the voting process. Nigeria's legal framework generally provides for equal participation in political life by the country's various cultural, religious, and ethnic groups. However, politicians and parties still often rely on voters' ethnic loyalties, and the interests of a given group may be poorly addressed in areas where it forms a minority or when affiliated parties are not in power. Nigeria's women enjoy formal political equality. However, in practice, relatively few women are elected or appointed public officials because of restrictive societal norms. In the 2019 federal parliamentary elections, only 12 of the 360 seats in the House of Representatives were won by women, while only 7 of the 109 Senate seats were won by women. Only 7 of the 43 cabinet ministers in July 2019 were women. In 2014, same-sex relationships and sexual minorities advocacy groups were banned when former President Goodluck Jonathan signed the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act. Members of sexual minorities are deterred from openly running for office or working to advance their political interests. Elected officials generally make and implement policy in Nigeria, but their ability to do so is impaired by factors including corruption, partisan conflict, poor control over areas of Nigeria where militant groups are active, and the president's undisclosed health problems, which have caused him to seek treatment outside Nigeria in recent years. The Nigerian government has attempted to reduce corruption in public and private institutions, but the practice remains pervasive, especially in the oil and security sectors. Anti corruption groups have voiced concern over President Buhari's commitment to keep corrupt officials from the cabinet after he appointed Timipre Silva as a deputy petroleum minister in July 2019. Mr. Silva had earlier served as a governor or as the governor of Bayelsa State and had been arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on charges of fraud in 2013. The EFCC alleged he had stolen 19 million naira or 53 million US dollars. However, in 2015, the Federal High Court ruled that Silva had been denied due process by the EFCC. Nigerian customs officials have also been susceptible to corruption, allowing smuggled goods to enter Nigeria through porous or open customs checks in return for bribes. The 2011 Freedom of Information Act guarantees the right to access public records, but non-governmental organizations have criticized government agencies for routinely refusing to release information sought through the law. Constitutionally, the Nigerians have freedoms of speech, expression, and the press. However, these rights are limited by laws on sedition, in other words, inciting people to rebel against the government, criminal defamation, and publication of false news. Sharia or Islamic law statutes in 12 northern states impose severe penalties for alleged press offenses. Internet service providers sometimes block websites at the request of the Nigerian Communications Commission. This is particularly true for websites advocating a renewed independence for Biafra, which tried to secede, in other words, break away from Nigeria in 1967, but following a brutal civil war was forcibly reunited with Nigeria in 1970. The federal government has also accused journalists of undermining its national security when reporting on operations against Boko Haram. Government officials also restrict press freedom by publicly criticizing, harassing, and arresting journalists, especially when they cover corruption scandals, human rights violations, separatist and communal violence, or other politically sensitive topics. Nigeria constitutionally protects religious freedom. However, the Nigerian federal government has also embarked on crackdowns against religious groups that have questioned its authority. The Nigerian federal government generally respects academic freedom. However, some state governments mandate religious instruction in elementary and secondary curriculums, and student admission and faculty hiring policies are subject to political interference. Nigerians are generally free to engage in discussions on politics and other topics, though expression of critical views on political leaders or sensitive subjects like the military, religion, and ethnicity occasionally leads to arrests or violent reprisals. The right to peaceful assembly is constitutionally guaranteed. However, federal and state governments frequently ban public events perceived as threats to national security, including those that could incite political, ethnic, or religious tension. Nigeria has a broad and vibrant civil society. However, members of some organizations face intimidation and physical harm for speaking out against Boko Haram or encounter obstacles when investigating alleged human rights abuses committed by the Nigerian army against Boko Haram suspects. Under the Nigerian constitution, workers have the right to form and join trade unions, engage in collective bargaining, and conduct strikes. However, the Nigerian federal government forbids strike action in a number of essential services, including public transportation and security. Constitutionally and legally, Nigeria's judicial independence is enshrined. The courts have achieved some degree of independence and professionalism in practice. However, political interference, corruption, and the lack of funding, equipment, and training remain important problems. There have been numerous allegations of extortion and bribe taking within the police force. Federal and state authorities have been criticized for disregarding due process, with prolonged pretrial detention of suspects even after courts ordered their release on bail. The Nigerian army has been repeatedly criticized by local and international human rights groups for extrajudicial killings, torture, and other abuses, including counterinsurgency efforts in the northeast and operations against separatist movements in the southeast. Despite constitutional safeguards against ethnic discrimination, many ethnic minorities experience bias by state governments and other societal groups in areas including employment, education, and housing. Women are still in widespread societal cases or societally on a wide front discriminated against, for example, in education and employment. Many poor families choose to send only their sons to school while their daughters become street vendors or domestic workers. In the states governed by Sharia statutes, women also face significant legal disadvantages. The Nigerians who identify as members of the sexual minorities face widespread discrimination by the federal government and society at large. Nigerians convicted of engaging in same-sex relationships can be imprisoned for as long as 14 years due to federal legislation enacted in 2014, while 12 northern states maintain the death penalty for same-sex relations in accordance with the Sharia Islamic law. In numerous cases, members of sexual minorities have also been subjected to assault by police officers during arrests, extortion attempts, and discrimination when accessing public and private services. Freedoms of internal movement and foreign travel are legally guaranteed, but security officials frequently impose dusk to dawn curfews and other movement restrictions in areas affected by communal violence or by Boko Haram activities. Nigeria's poorly regulated property rights system hinders citizens and private businesses from engaging in the efficient and legal purchase or sale of land and other types of property. Despite the existence of strict laws against rape, domestic violence, female genital mutilation, and child marriage, these offenses remain widespread, with low rates of reporting and prosecution. Nigerian organized crime groups are heavily involved in human trafficking. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, or NAPTIP, continues to rescue trafficking victims and prosecute some suspected traffickers, but its funding is reportedly inadequate, and there have been few prosecutions against labor traffickers. Survivors of trafficking operations often find their freedom of movement withheld by NAPTIP in poorly managed shelters and experience discrimination when seeking access to public services after their release. What can I say? May God have mercy on and protect also Nigeria.